There. I'm Christine Dunbar from SpeechModification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent training. In this video, we're going to look at the words like eat and ate, treat and trait to help you pronounce the E and A vowels correctly and distinctly in American English. So this was a request from a viewer. They wanted to know about the words treat and trait. And so we'll talk about those words, but I also want to show you how we have these patterns and these vowel sounds in English. So in the word treat, we have the E vowel. And sometimes I write it this way to think of that E sound, because typically the E is spelled with either the letters EE, as in meat, or the letters EA, as in meat, the other kind of meat, or just the letter E like in me or we. So in treat, I can build from that tense E, eat, and add my TR sound at the beginning. Eat, treat. If you find the TR to be difficult, you can try building up, just adding the R, eat, reet, treat. And of course work on your R separately in other contexts as well. So all of these words have the E vowel, and even though there are exceptions, what happens for some people is that for this E vowel, they associate it with the letter I because that's how it's spelled in their language. So if you get used to looking for EA and EE and associating that with that high tense E sound, that may help you with these other words like wheat and me and meat. Then for the word trait, we have the A diphthong, and I often rewrite that with the letters AY, again, because that's a typical spelling for most people. Also, in a word like may or day or say, non-native speakers often can do this vowel correctly because there's no consonant following. So if I'm saying may, a, say, I naturally hold that vowel longer. You can see there's two symbols for this vowel sound. It's because it's a diphthong. It means it glides from one position to another. It is one sound, a, but I'm moving from a more tense into a more relaxed position, a. So for a lot of people, what they tend to do is in your native language, you might have just a single sound for this. And what you need in American English is a double sound a. So usually holding it longer will help. That's easier to do in a word like say, because there's nothing stopping me. In a word like trait, I did one with a stop T there and one with a full T. What you'll see is that it can be a little harder, and then you end up with more like trait, and then that's harder to hear the difference between treat and trait or another vowel sound. It might sound to the American listener more like an sound or a different vowel. So thinking about lengthening and holding your vowel longer in these words with the A can be very helpful. Trait, ate, mate, wait, and of course may, say, day. Those are a little easier to hold longer. Typically I hear that error pattern on A on words like change and name especially. So if you're saying my name is, hold your A a little longer so it won't sound like my name is. You don't want that kind of like sound. That's a different sound in English. Okay, so hopefully the person who requested treat and trait now has a clear understanding of the difference in those vowels. Again, if I'm looking at the position for the vowels, treat is a high front vowel. My mouth is not very open, it's very tense. And trait starts here more mid and then closes. A trait. So that's kind of the relative space for those vowels. Thank you for that request. If you have a request you'd like to see as part of our Word of the Day series, do feel free to leave that in the comments for this video, and I'll add it to my list to cover in a future class. If you need more help for vowel sounds in general, you can check out our vowels playlist. It walks you through these two vowels as well as many others, talks about accent error patterns you might have and how to correct them, and how to know which words are in which place. Oh, that reminds me, I didn't mention for the spelling for A, we have typically either AI or AY, or we have just an A with an E at the end that doesn't make any sound. So in words like ate and mate, the letter A says the A diphthong because of the E at the end. Otherwise, we often spell that with two letters like AI or AY. So that's something to watch out for spelling there. If that spelling, sounds, vowel information was helpful for you, you might also want to check out our Sounds of English course on speechmodification.com. That course is under $2 and it gives you a really strong fundamental approach for all of the different sounds of English, both vowels and consonants, how they're spelled, how to pronounce them, what words they're in, what accent error patterns you might have on them. So it's a great resource for all of the fundamental things you need for pronouncing American English correctly, as well as getting started with improving your American accent. Check it out on speechmodification.com. Thanks so much, those of you who have subscribed to the channel, joined as channel members, joined our Facebook groups. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you again in tomorrow's class. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com. Remember, if you want to sound like a native speaker, you can do it. speechmodification.com. Bye guys. Hope to see you again soon.